Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the multi-strand bracelet that I will be making, specifically the one on this side. I am so happy with how it came out. I am using the magnet clasps and the connectors from the order that I received from bbcraft.com. And I just think the detail in these is stunning. I love the way they look. And I am combining it with the beads from GGC's treasure bag for the month of October 2022. And the autumn tones is the theme of the treasure bag, and I just happen to love the autumn or the fall color palette. I love the detail in these beads, like that splatter paint detail. I also love these twist beads here. The quality of beads in her treasure bag is just always top notch. So I will have everything linked down below in the description box. If you are interested in the treasure bag for GGC, I will link it down below. Now this month's treasure bag is already sold out, and she does one-of-a-kind treasure bags. Once they are sold out, they are gone, but you can sign up to be notified for when her treasure bags go for sale. So I will definitely have that link down below. For BB Craft, I will also have their website linked down below, and if you go check that out, I encourage you to use my code. That code is Casey5. That's K-A-S-I 5, and that will give you $5 off any order over $40. So now, if you would like to see how these bracelets came about, then stay tuned. All right, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start by the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers. I have 1 set of cutters. And I have my set of crimping pliers. And as always, I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is called the Casual Comfort tool set, as you see right there. This tool set is very high quality, very well made, very sturdy, comfortable to use. But one of the biggest things for me are the adult size grips. And for whatever reason, I find in different jewelry stores that the grips tend to be a little bit smaller, which, you know, functions for some people. But for me, when I discovered this tool set, it just, there was no going back. They are so comfortable to use. So like I said, I highly recommend this set, but even if you don't get this set, I just recommend investing in your tools. To me, it is absolutely worth it. I will have this tool set linked below, along with everything that I used that did not come from the treasure bag. Okay, so the idea that I have today is a multi-strand bracelet, and I will be using these dual loop connectors that came in my order from bbcraft.com. I just think these are absolutely beautiful. I love the detail. They are so intricate, and there's so many uses for them. I can just picture them in, you know, bracelets, necklaces, you know, even earrings. I just think these are so beautiful. And these are just a couple of the examples. The one that I received came with 8 different styles, and they're just absolutely beautiful. So here's the example that you saw in the intro of the bracelet that I already made. And of course, the beads that came from GGC's treasure bag, just absolutely stunning. I love that almost splatter paint design on those rice-shaped beads. They're just beautiful. And of course, there's a different example of one of those dual connectors, and the other side is the same pattern, but of course I alternated the color on those beads. And then the other thing that I used from BB Craft was an example of the magnet clasp that also had that design in it. Very quick to open and slip over that loop. Just absolutely stunning. I love it when clasps become part of the design. They're just so beautiful. So here is the one that I already made, and here is the one that is in process. Now the good thing about this style of bracelet is that each part of the strand is made the exact same way. So I already made the first 3, and we'll make this last one together and then connect it all with the clasp. So the beads that I will be using, I love these beautiful amber colored twist beads, and you can see when I hold it to the side, that twist design in this bead, absolutely beautiful. And these rondelle shaped faceted beads, and then the 3x2 millimeter rondelle shaped bead. And from my own stash, I am using these 4 millimeter pearls. I love this kind of autumn tone, burnt orange color. Goes right along with the theme from GGC's treasure bag this month, which was, of course, the autumn tones. I will be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright, which of course is this silver color. And I always get the 100 feet because I go through it so quickly. I have already cut a piece of wire, and I have approximately 8 inches of wire. Each section is only about a little over 2 inches. If you're just looking at the beads themselves, it's just over 2 inches. Of course, you have to give yourself space on either end to start it off and then to close it off, just like that. So like I said, I have 8 inches. So here is how I start off each strand. I put on a crimp tube, jump ring, and then I'm going to use a wire guardian. So I go through one end, wrap it around, put it through the other end. And then you want to make sure your jump ring goes up in the wire guardian and that both ends of the wire go through that crimp tube. So I pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers, and then I push up that crimp tube. I know the pieces are a little bit small, so I'm going to do my best to show you everything that I can. I like to separate those wires just like that so that they're not crossed inside that crimp tube. I'm going to push that crimp tube up with my nail and then pull it with my finger so it's nice and snug, just like that. So you can sort of see the piece of wire on this side and then the wire on this side so that it's held separately underneath that crimp tube. All right, so then I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers into that second divot and give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, and then I'm going to turn it, go into that first divot, give it another smash, and that gets it pretty good. You can see it right there, but I like to go in with that flat part at the end of the crimping pliers and give it that final smash so that it is nice and secure. You see right there. I'm going to hold on to that jump ring, put that crimp cover right over that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up. Then I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to go front to back on that crimp cover. Continue the gentle smash so it gives it that round shape. And so there's how I start each strand. And that crimp cover can give the illusion of that first bead, or like a spacer bead. So now it's just the order of the beads. This side is over here, the side where I have that jump ring. So if you notice, in here, I have decided to connect that guardian wire right to the loop, okay, with no jump ring in between. So I'll show you how I did that with these connectors in the middle. So I'm going to start this on the order of the beads from the other side. 4 millimeter pearl, 3 millimeter spacer, and I'm using bead caps from my own stash in that flower design. Bead cap facing up, rondelle, larger rondelle, bead cap facing down. So now I'm going to go down to the other side. I'm going to make sure to tuck that tail in to these first few beads so it looks just like that. And I'm going to repeat this part of the design in the order of the beads 1.5 more times, and then we'll meet back up. All right, so here is that repeated design. So I add that twist bead, and the last bead I'm going to add is that 2 millimeter rondelle, just like that. So now it is just like the other sections that are on here. Now when I close it off, instead of adding a jump ring, I'm going to use that last loop in the connector to close it off. So here is how we do that. I'm going to add the crimp tube, and I'm going to put on the last loop of that connector, and then the wire guardian through one side, wrap it around through the other. Then you're going to take that loop in the connector and put it up in the wire guardian just like that, and then put both ends of the wire through that crimp tube. And then of course you can pull that a little snug, and I'm going to pinch that wire guardian close with my fingers. And these 2mm rondelles are too small to have that wire go back through it. A lot of times when I make things like this, I'll put the wire back through the first bead or two. So here's how I do this one. I'm gonna pull it kind of snug, but here's where you have to have that balance, because you definitely want the segment to have flexibility. This part of the strand, every part, you definitely want it to have flexibility. So you pull it snug, but you want to make sure that the strand itself can move. So I'm holding this with my 2 fingers up here because sometimes the weight of this, and it's not that it's heavy, just, I mean, the weight that it does have will pull that back and make that more snug than you want it to be. So you want some flexibility, and I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers where I have that crimp tube and into that second divot and give it a smash. And you get that taco shape. Turn it on its side, go into that first divot, give it another smash, and then I like to go in with that flat part at the end and give it the final smash, just like that. So now I'm going to go in with my cutters and get as close as I can and cut off that tail. So now I'm going to take a crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube and then flip it up. I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to go front to back, give it a gentle smash for that round shape. All right, and there you go. And there's still some flexibility in the strand. So here is the piece with all of the strands on it. Now we're going to add the clasp. Now, each end has its own jump ring, but I'm only going to use one of them. So I'm going to take off one jump ring from each side. I like using the jump rings when I create the initial strand because it gives me something to hold on to as I am making the strand. But for right now, I'm going to take off one of each side. All right, so here you go. On each side, we have one jump ring, one strand with a jump ring, and one without. So now, we're going to put them together. First thing I'm going to do is take the clasp apart into 2 different pieces. So the jump ring I have on one side, I'm going to open it. I'm going to go ahead and add the guardian wire from the other strand on that side, just like that. And then I'm going to add the loop to the clasp, just like that, and close that jump ring. So there's one side. Same thing on the other side. Go ahead and open it. Add the other wire guardian and then the loop part of the magnet clasp, just like that. Close that jump ring. All right, so here is the final piece. I absolutely love this. The beads from GGC's treasure bag are just stunning. Absolutely beautiful, reflective. I love them. And then you combine it with these beautiful detailed connectors and this magnet clasp with the details in the magnet clasp. I just absolutely think this is beautiful. So here we go. So here it is. Here is this bracelet, multi-strand bracelet. We have the magnet clasp on the back. Beautiful, beautiful beads, along with the connector in the front. I absolutely love the way this came out. All right, so now I am going to set these up on my display so we can see them better. All right, so here they are. I absolutely love how they came out. The beads in GGC's treasure bag are just stunning. They're so high quality, and I just think they are beautiful. And the detail in them with, like I said, that splatter paint design, I just think they are absolutely beautiful. And in this one, that twist, I love the unique shape of some of the beads that come in the treasure bag. It's not always just round beads. There's just such a variety. And then, of course, the connectors. I love the detail in these connectors as well, these 2-loop connectors. Same with the clasp, the magnet clasp. I love the hook and loop design of these magnet clasps. I love when the clasp becomes part of the design of a jewelry piece. A lot of times clasp can just be functional, which is also okay, but I love the opportunity to make the clasp part of the design. I think this is absolutely beautiful. So once again, if you are interested in bbcraft.com, the website, I strongly encourage you to go check that out. The information will be linked below. And if you do, you definitely want to use my code that is KASI5, KASI5, and that will give you $5 off an order of $40 or more. Like I said earlier, if you are interested in GGC's treasure bag, there is no subscription, but if you want to be notified when they go for sale, I will also have that link below. You definitely want to get signed up to be notified, because once she puts them up for sale, they sell out pretty darn quick. All right, so if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, then go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and you ask such intelligent questions. I just greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.